You'll hear people saying, here we go, Nolan's take. Oh no, we're seeing it fresh. There will definitely be a huge crowd like that. What's the reason for all this happiness in the world that everyone's coming down hard on Nolan for touching the Odyssey for the first time? Is there nothing else to go back to ancient times for? See, usually, legendary directors who always deliver quality films and earn a great reputation, the moment they slip even a little, people start attacking hard. Where did all these haters suddenly come from? It's like nobody understands why so many people are jumping in to bite. At once, Nolan's last masterpiece was Dunkirk. Yes, Dunkirk. It's a film that honestly doesn't get talked about enough. Probably a lot of people haven't even seen it. But there's a standard that Nolan himself set. Like, Nolan films are supposed to be mind-effing. Even after watching 10 times, there's so much detail that you still don't fully get it. The screenplay is always something we haven't seen before. Always a fresh experience. Even if there are 1,008 confusions in the story, we'll definitely connect deeply with the basic emotion in the film, and the last film that precisely satisfied all these standards set by Nolan's films was Dunkirk. After that, he tried Tenet. That only met about half the standard of what you'd call a Nolan film. Yes, it's mind-effing, the screenplay, the music, everything is top-notch. But nobody could connect with it on that really deep emotional level the way earlier Nolan films managed. There were more logical loopholes than ever before in a Nolan film. I think partly because the film released baselessly during COVID time. It took a lot of hits, and usually Nolan's films haven't been given much respect at the Oscars. There's a saying that sci-fi, horror, these genres don't get much respect at the Oscars. But if you make a biopic, they'll hand you something for it. Oppenheimer felt exactly like a film made purely to win an Oscar. A biopic? Alright, fine. But for me, that film didn't really work as a Nolan film because it completely failed to meet the standard set for a Christopher Nolan film in any way. Now, for his next film, Nolan absolutely has to deliver a comeback, and that's what he's taken on with Odyssey. But it's already facing the wrath of these newly emerged sudden haters. On top of that, it's like he's cursing himself by saying, everyone come and hit me, and updates keep coming out one after another. You'd have seen a lot of the criticisms floating around out there. We'll talk about that, but before that, I have a disappointment. I don't know if it's just me who felt this. Nobody seems to be talking about it much. It's this. When I went to watch Avatar 3 in IMAX, they played a 5-minute clip from Odyssey before it. That clip was never released anywhere else. It was shown only in IMAX. Watching it, the music and everything felt amazing, like, wow, this is something else. But after seeing all that, about 10 days ago, I watched the movie Troy. You could just consider Troy, starring Brad Pitt, as a kind of prequel to Odyssey. What disappointed me about it was, even after 10 years, with the wooden horse, the Greeks couldn't do anything beyond breaching the tail end of Troy. So that wall, that's a huge factor in this story, and in Troy they've shown that wall spectacularly. To the point where you feel convinced that there's nothing more these people could do beyond that. That's how convincing it felt watching it. But in this Nolan-directed Odyssey, in the scene I watched in the theatre, it felt like they hadn't shown that wall as grand at all. If you compare the wall shown in Troy to this one, I don't think it even comes to a third of it. That's how Nolan showed it. Is this convincing enough? I have this doubt and disappointment that this wall, which the Greeks couldn't penetrate for so many years, felt underwhelming here. I honestly don't know the original stories of either film that well. So if I'm saying anything wrong, and if you know anything, please tell me, usually the basic one-liner of these big epics is, as far as I've seen, mostly silly. He kidnapped her, they went searching for her, they fought and died. It'd be a similar one-liner for this one too. But in the Odyssey story, the King of Ithaca, played by Matt Damon in Troy, Nolan has taken up his story after the war. But so far there's no clarity on what exactly he's happily taken up or where he's going with it. But going by the preview shows and reviews, apparently Nolan's comeback film is fun, that's what I heard. But for me, what matters isn't just meeting Nolan's own standard with this film called The Odyssey. It's unfairly, painfully difficult to surpass the standard that the epicness of Troy set. But that's just my expectation. Come on, Nolan, you rascal. If you can, use your Odyssey to top Troy's peak. That's the hope I have. What does it mean to portray a hero impressively? How do you write mass moments for a hero? I think the Achilles character was written so that every single scene he appears in makes the audience thrilled. Dude, without even needing re-recording music, he's naturally impressive. They've made it consciously that way. They've made it very clear that they didn't want to elevate this Achilles character with background music at all, because he's not someone who's a good guy fighting for a good cause or anything like that. If you go, fight there, your name will live forever. Thousands of years later, they'll make a movie about us called Troy, and Brad Pitt will act in it. It's for that kind of honor that he goes and fights. And another reason is like, what if I go there and never come back, you ask? I'm such a great man, who dares to kill me? Those hollow, macho notions that only exist for certain kinds of men, they clearly didn't want to elevate that in this film. That's exactly why it feels even more legendary. The fact that he's shown as so heroic that no one can defeat him in battle, that made me feel more sad than Massey. Why is he so heroic? Why does he fight so brutally and unjustly? That's the feeling the audience starts to get. Achilles himself feels that way and cries about it. Why are we like this? This is exactly how writing should be. This is exactly how a film should be made, I felt. For the entire 3.5-hour duration of this film, I was that happy. Even though he himself knows what he's doing is wrong, even knowing that this war is good for nothing, he'll go fight again for this shallow ego and hollow honor. They've handled that kind of thing very deeply. Also, the scene where the Trojan king comes, I really liked that scene too. All the major characters in this film have 2 or 3 shades to them. Nobody feels purely good or purely evil. But Matt Damon's character here is a different breed entirely. He's someone who's good everywhere too, someone who, in the name of I'm always the good guy, takes both his own life and ours along with it. That's the shade given to all the female characters shown in this film too. Don't go fight, dear, stay by my side. Who knows if you'll come back alive if you go fight? That kind of reflection of love/affection, with slight variations, runs through all of them. The goodbye scene, how many films have shown that same scene before? But here it worked really well. The relationship between Achilles and her was excellent too. In every way, this is a fantastic film. I have just one wish for this week. This film and Odyssey are completely different genres. But still, Odyssey needs to surpass this. Or at least it should give us an experience comparable to touching this level. That's all I ask. That Nolan rascal has to pull off some kind of magic. But looking at the promotional shots they're releasing, like why on earth are the helmets all 3D printed looking? Forget about Helen of Troy even, but at least make the helmets look period appropriate. Then there's the casting, that's the kind of random announcements people keep making. The Helen of Troy casting itself caused a huge controversy. How I see all this is, going back to that wall issue I mentioned earlier, my doubt is whether it'll be convincing enough. But another side to this is, if you insist on being completely faithful to the source material for every single film, you'd have to cast only white actors in every movie. There's that concern too, so we shouldn't be too rigid about that either. Anyway, from the moment this Achilles casting and this film's announcement came out, there's practically no area where Nolan hasn't faced criticism. All right, go and destroy every fortress. That's the response to every single criticism. This is a fantasy film. He can take whatever creative liberties he wants with his own fantasy. Just go watch it with an open mind. Nolan fans' supportive comments are also flooding in, and this film seems to be heading toward release amid all that. Since it's a Nolan film, I'm definitely going in with expectations, and I sincerely hope it turns out to be a masterpiece. And even though I've spoiled Troy pretty badly in this video, it's fine, go watch Troy at least once. Even if you're not going to watch Odyssey, definitely go watch Troy, bro.